family, and friends. Dear LL.M graduates, it is with great honor, but also with full respect and humbleness, that I stand before you today speaking on behalf of an amazing group of individuals, the University of Texas School of Law, LL.M class of 2018. To be sincere, when I learned about my classmates' decision of appointing me as speaker, I received the news with great joy. But also, I immediately felt the whole weight of the world on my shoulders, because speaking on behalf and also to such an impressive group of individuals is not easy. As the date grew closer, I started getting anxious about what I would talk about. That pressure was partially relieved this morning when I was able to fit into this suit. Thank you, T, for so many free lunches, endless pizza, and munchies at the Graduate and International Program Office. This is such an important moment for all of us, and I want to talk about the marvelous year that we've spent together, and also about the great future that we have ahead of us. But because we did not go through these masters alone, first I consider appropriate and also necessary to thank all the people that helped us being here and to acknowledge their sacrifices. To the employers that allowed us to take a year to pursue our academic goals, and to the sponsors that provided financial support. To the friends that remained close to us despite of the physical distance, thank you all. To the team that comprises the Graduate and International Programs Office, Dean Fielder, Carly, Mauricio, we have no words to thank for your attentions. It is impressive how you get involved, how you enjoy your jobs, and how you care for us at a personal level. You always made us feel at home, and our gratitude will be eternal. Thank you. To our families, our greatest support, because you have been unconditional, and without your love and teachings, we would not be the individuals that we are today. This goes to our parents. Thank you for guiding us and instilling the best values to us. Because of you, we are the integral people that today are reaching another goal in our lives. To the children of the parents that are graduating, Jimmy and other kids, you have great examples to follow. Your parents are great human beings that are working really hard to offer the best opportunities in life for you. Cherish them and respect them always. To our significant others, in my case, Alicia, thank you for being the compass that guides us and the source of all our force and inspiration. All we do and all we will ever achieve has the sole objective of making you feel proud. Thanks for your patience throughout this year and for all the words of effort, of encouragement and acts of love. Without any doubt, this is a team effort, and without you and your sacrifices, the road to graduation would have been a slippery slope. We should also think about our sacrifices. Being here was a personal, financial, and professional sacrifice, but I could continue explaining how many sacrifices we made, but my intention is not to sound as if I am complaining. To the contrary, I want to express that all our efforts, and those of the ones that were by our sides, are starting to pay off, as today we have reached a goal that will allow us to do great things. Dreams do come true. If only we wish hard enough, you can do anything in life if you will sacrifice everything else for it. This quote of J.M. Barrie, the author of Peter Pan, perfectly reflects what I just said. Our loved ones and ourselves sacrificed a lot. Today, those dreams of studying abroad and obtaining a master's degree from one of the best universities of the world are now a reality. I would also like to invite my fellow LL.Ms to be grateful for the unique opportunity that we have of receiving a legal education in one of the country's best universities by some of the most brilliant legal minds, our professors. To them, I express our most sincere gratitude and admiration. They pushed us every day to give the best we have, and sometimes even more than that. Their best lesson is implied in what I just said. They taught us that we have no limits as long as we work hard and stay focused in our goals. They demonstrated that they are not only great teachers, but also amazing human beings. This definitely made things easier for us, as it is always easier to follow those who are admired as opposed to those that are feared. Admiration inspires, fear builds walls. Talking about inspiration, I would like to share another phrase of William Arthur Ward, who by the way was also a graduate student at this university, and the phrase says like this: the mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires. I kindly ask my LL.M friends to give an affectionate applause to our great professors, to those present and those that were not able to join us today. Thank you. Well, a few moments ago, I talked about building walls. That seems to be one of the most important topics in today's leaders' agendas. Walls are being planned based on the fear to everything that is different to how we think and how we see life. Walls prevent cultures from mixing, and when this mix is impeded, it is everybody's loss, because it prevents us from learning from others and growing together. We came to this country from all over the world, many nationalities, races, religions, cultures, ways of thinking, met in Austin, Texas, because we affronted this constructive clash of cultures with respect, curiosity, and an open mind. We were able to get the most out of our experience in an international program like this. We learned from each other. We became true citizens of the world. We demonstrated that cultural exchange and immigration can generate positive results. Good people came to this country and contributed to the social and academic life in a positive manner. Instead of building walls, we built strong and tall bridges that now connect us. We looked for each other, we supported each other, and we offered the best we have to each other. Although our chapter as students is concluding today, our chapter as friends, as a family, is never going to end. I am sure that we will cross paths in the future. We will visit each other's countries. We will maintain communication. Possibly some of us will even collaborate professionally, and hopefully we will celebrate mutual success. But we will also be there as support in difficult times. During this year, we proved that our differences did not move us apart. All the opposite. They were one of the reasons why we enjoyed this year so much. What I am trying to say can be summarized with a phrase of Mexican writer Carlos Fuentes. The phrase says like this: recognize yourself in he and she who are not like you and me. The meaning of this phrase is powerful. It explains that behind different languages, behind different skin colors, behind different forms of thinking, we have all something in common. We are human beings. Human beings that were born the same way, and human beings that are only temporarily transiting this world. I am really thankful for having crossed paths with you guys. Aside of great friends, you have been great ambassadors of your country and of your people. Now I know that in Ethiopia they speak Amharic, and that under the Islamic law it is really difficult to inherit in Afghanistan. I also understood about the political and social situation of countries like Cameroon, Venezuela, China, and I even learned that even though re-election is allowed in India, it is not common for presidents to remain in their positions for more than 2 terms. I also learned something really fun, and it is that Mexicans are the world's worst translators. I mean, who confuses sirloin with only mine? Do you know, Lupita? But well, what I just said was obviously a joke based on one of the many anecdotes that this year left. What I can say about Mexicans and about most of the people in this room is that we are people of great heart. That was proved this year precisely by Lupita, the translator, who was acknowledged by the School of Law as the LL.M with the most pro bono hours. Thank you. Looking back in retrospect, I am also happy to think that I was able to show part of my country's tradition to my LL.M friends. For example, the tradition of hospitality. I was happy to receive most of you at my place and cook for you your first taco. And wow, it was very interesting to serve your first tequila and mezcal. It was exciting also to taste your country's dishes and drinks throughout the year, especially that night at Professor Wood's home, which, by the way, I think it is amazing that happens in this university. We were able to not only know our professors in the school, but also other places. Thank you, Professor Sokolo and Professor Woods, for inviting us. I really enjoyed, for example, the umeshu from Japan, the mate from Argentina, the rum from Venezuela, and the Chinese food. It was amazing. I also, my dear friend Luis Gomez always bragged about Colombian coffee, but up to this date he hasn't given any coffee to us. And well, if I am already talking about food, I'd like to give a shout out to the person who was unanimously selected as the best grill master of our LL.M class, Francisco Lanuse. Thank you, Pancho, for being the cause of so many great moments and for always trying to keep our class bonded. I'd also like to talk about funny things. For example, our soccer team, which deserves a special mention, not only because we had the worst and least original name, it was Rest of the World, but also because we were really bad. Our best result was a tie in a non-official match. And after every loss, we still had the nerve of rewarding ourselves by heading to Hop Dottie and eating delicious burgers. But, well, we may not have been good in soccer, but we were good in several other things. This year, it has already been mentioned, for the first time in the program's history, Dr. Carly Topke and Justin Kudel coached that team into the final round of the International Commercial Arbitration Moot Competition that takes place each year in Washington, D.C. I had the opportunity to attend the final and witness how close my friends Danley, Andreas, Isaac, and Batsal were of winning the competition. Please give them a big applause. But please, do not think that this was the only victory of the year. In case that you don't know, our friend Andreas Halbeck has been recently introduced to the Pluckers Wall of Fame after eating, and listen to this, 25 fire in the hole wings in less than an hour. The name of such a culinary delicacy says everything. But don't think that Andreas is the only famous LL.M. Our dear Chinese friend Yu Tongxie is followed by more than 500,000 people in her social media.
Oh my God!
All these anecdotes demonstrate how amazing this year has been. We put a face to flags of countries that prior to this year were unknown to us. Now the time has arrived to go out to the world and use the degree that we obtained here to improve the lives of others. Let's be agents of change. Let's inspire younger generations and teach them how to build links and how to destroy the walls built by fear. Although I do not have any authority to give advice to my peers, I am the one using the microphone, so I will take advantage of this situation and share with you an advice that my father here gave me in 2005 when I was about to start law school in my country. His advice was short but powerful, and up to this day, it still resounds in my head every time that I have to make a decision related to the exercise of the legal profession. He advised me not to use my career to benefit from others, but to benefit others with my career. As attorneys licensed in our countries, and now as legal magisters from the University of Texas, we have the moral obligation to use our knowledge of the law to improve the law itself. Because although the law is noble, it is always perfectible. Although it is usually well-intended, it is not always just, because it is expensive and many times inaccessible. I could continue reciting motifs, but I think my message has been clear. As masters of laws, we have the superior obligation of raising our voice as soon as we notice that a law can be improved, and even more when a law is unfair. We also have the obligation of assisting those in need, even when they cannot afford our services. Because although our exercise of this profession is what will take food to our tables, the satisfaction of helping a brother in need will nourish our soul and make us better human beings. We live in a world where self-proclaimed geniuses lead many of our countries. These leaders think that their ways are the only ways, and many of them rule by dividing society and generating hate between individuals. Our role as masters of law is to stand before them as protectors of what is just. Only educated people with the heart in the right place can achieve this. Hence, I invite you to confront hate, intolerance, and injustice with love, tolerance, and humanity. If we take this stand towards life, I am sure that the world will be a better place, because together we achieve more. I also invite you to fight for peace and fairness. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Discourage litigation. Persuade your neighbors to compromise whenever you can." As a peacemaker, the lawyer has superior opportunity of being a good man. There will still be business enough. This quote establishes that as lawyers, we ought to promote peace as the first available alternative. Hence, I like to consider peace as one of our most important obligations. I also like to consider fairness as an important obligation imputed to the exercise of the legal profession, and we all know that the world is still filled with discrimination. As a consequence, we should be attorneys of fair causes. We should fight for gender equality. We should fight for the rights of the LGBT community. We should fight against racism and intolerance of any kind. We should fight. My final piece of advice, and with this I will conclude my speech, is always to stay humble, even when success knocks your doors, as I am sure it will do. Whenever you feel you are losing humility, remember that out there, someone smarter than you is doing things better. Remember that someone smarter than you was not fortunate enough and did not have access to the same opportunities as we did. Remember that other people's dreams have been dismantled by poverty and injustice. Not all dreams have a student visa as the one we got. To all dreamers out there, I'd like to say, stay focused and stay strong. Don't lose faith. Today is not a goodbye or the end of something. Today is the beginning of the next stage of our professional careers. Texas was good with us, and we were good with Texas. We brought the best of the world to Texas. Now, we should take the best of Texas out to the world. Because as the university's motto says, what starts here changes the world. Hook 'em.